In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the A5 engine. This is the exact strategy and framework we've used that has generated over $6 million in sales in the past couple of years for our clients, right? I'm going to be showing you exactly how it works step by step. So some of the results that it's got for people. So one of my clients here, they were selling a membership for only $149. After installing this system into their business and helping them with the high ticket offer, we scaled up to $96,000 in just the first 45 days working together, right? Which led to him leaving a review for us over here. And then the next thing is Stock Pickers Academy, right? So this was an investment coach. He teaches people how to invest into stocks, crypto, and how to improve and develop their portfolio over time. And we did £59,000 in the first month of launch. This person's never really ran ads prior to working with me, right? 59,000 in the next 45 days. Like in the first 45 days, we did £72,855. That's close. That's around like $100,000, right? Pretty much, yeah, exactly, right? Another case study of another business, digital business school that help people transition into tech, and we went to over 45,000 in sales, right? So I've done this. This framework, it works no matter what business you are in and what product you're selling, because it leverages human psychology, and that's the key thing here. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what we're selling it to other humans, and when you know how to really communicate to other humans that in a way that's going to drive them to take action, then this framework is going to work extremely well, and it's consistent throughout whatever industry that we work with, right? So my name is Ayub, a marketer. Like I mentioned before, generated over $6 million in sales, and our skills are based on human psychology, and that's why I've been able to see results in pretty much every industry that I've worked in. I'm focusing on service-based and education businesses now because I found those are the easiest type of businesses to scale. But we also implement these strategies in e-commerce, right, where you're selling products less than $100 and your margin for error is so low, so you have to be extremely good. I previously worked at GoDaddy. Most people recognize that name because you buy your domain names from there. If not, it just sounds like a pretty strange name for a business. Unitel Direct as well. This is a business where helping service-based businesses get onto the top pages of Google and Bing. So I worked in marketing businesses and agencies before, on the sales side, on the marketing side, and then I started my own business in 2022, right? And this is now the A5 engine. You've seen the results, the results that this has got for other people, and there's many more that I can't even talk about because of NDA that we got like a ridiculous amount of results for implementing the same systems. So I want you to pay attention to this because it's literally been responsible for generating millions. And if you pay attention and you apply what I'm saying, it can do you can get amazing results for you as well. I'm not promising millions, but I can definitely increase your sales significantly, right? And we've still done this time and time again. Now, the first step is AI leverage research, right? You need to know exactly who your dream customers are before you even spend $1. So who are you selling to? How do they identify themselves? Who do they ideally want to be? What are their current beliefs, right? What are their desires, their pain points, their objections, their levels of awareness and sophistication into the market? This all plays a part in how you're going to communicate to them, right? And the reason why this is the most important thing is because it's the foundation for everything that you do, right? Once you've done your research properly, you can now craft a message that can really resonate with your ideal customer and client with all the content and ads that you're going to be making later on, right? It allows you to cut a lot of the guesswork and a lot of the testing out of your process when you've done your research properly, and you're speaking to the right amount of people, so that stops you from wasting money on unprofitable ads, right? It's something that people don't really pay attention to as much as they should, right? Now, this is how it works. So we got a template here called our dossier. So this is what we used prior to AI becoming very, very sophisticated. We'll use this, and you can see this is extremely detailed process that we have here on a spreadsheet. I'm using this to basically research your entire market, right? So we know their desires, the messaging that speaks to these people, right? We go in and you analyze your products and the benefits of your products and even more, right? Stuff, right? And your problems and the solutions found in your product to solve the problems of your market, right? Okay. Even going through the objections that people will have in their mind to, these kind of questions like, how do I know this product is real? What's in it for me, right? These are the questions that your audience is going to be asking themselves as they're going through your sales process. And we've done this this used to take like a real week to really hone in and do the amount of research that required in your audience. But now with AI, now what we've done is now combined. We've taken this spreadsheet and just put it into some massive, huge prompt, and we can just get AI to just do literally all of the research for us, right? And just to give you an example of this, one moment. So here's an example when we put this prompt into the AI, and it allows us to do the research all in one go. So this is one of our clients, Digital Business School, helping transition into our career coaching offer. You can see it's finding us the people, the job, literally all the information about the market and the type of people, the age range, the location, the demographics, and even starts going into the actual, psychological avatars of these people, right? And finding us the people who are most probable to actually convert, right? The easiest to reach, and the people that are the best people to sell to. How much easier does advertising become, or getting the right customer become, when you already know what they want and what they desire and how you can help them before you even spend $1 on advertising, right? People are very lazy with this process, and that's why they get subpar results. But the advertising, it sets the foundation for everything that you're going to do after. So this is a great example of that, right? And then next thing is your acquisition funnel. So pick from 1 or 4 acquisition funnels that we can implement into your business, from low ticket to high ticket, VSL cold funnels, profile funnel, webinars, right? Now, the right one really depends on your offer, your pricing, and your market as well. So you can pick the wrong funnel and it leads you, and it's wasting a lot of money. So it's very important that you pick the right one, because it's going to, another thing that's foundational, right? A foundation that's going to, really impact how successful you are with marketing your product and your offer, or your service, okay? So you can see some of the frameworks that we have here from the VSL core funnel, from the VSL core funnel, low ticket ascension, profile funnel, and all of these have specific processes all are aligned to them, exactly, right? So we have these different processes because the different is the right one. It just depends on the offer, right? And what we do also is implement sales teams into your business, right? So a lot of you maybe already have a funnel that's running, but you have a leaky bucket, right? What happens to water when you put it into a leaking bucket, right? It retains some water, but a lot of it you lose, right? So this is the problem with not having a real sales infrastructure. So if you're the founder or still taking all the sales calls, you have low availability on a calendar, and you don't have enough time to actually put into the content. This is why this is really important. We not only implement AI setters into your processes, right, but we also include human setters as well that can actually follow up with deals, virtual assistants to help with, customer service, so that you can take yourself away. You can respond to leads and become more efficient, right? Because a lot of you not just don't have a lead problem, but you have an efficiency problem, right? You're not getting the most out of the money that you're spending. You need to be getting the most out of the money that you're spending, because that's how you get the full value from every dollar that you invest into ads. So for example, let's say, so for one of the funnels, you're running people to your profile. A lot of you already have traffic, or already have funnels. You already have people actually engaging with your content. But how many of you are following up with everybody that's engaging with your content? Every single like, every single follow, watching people who are your prospects' stories and actually responding to them, right? Instagram is a great tool, right? And you already have leads. Like a lot of you already have leads, but you're not doing enough with them, right? So when you have a human setter in the mix, AI is great because it responds to people and it can handle people at scale, but it's not actually manually reaching out, warm outreach to people. It's following up with every person who engages with your content. It only triggers when people can respond to you. So when you have a human setter in the mix, you can convert more of your actual audience into paid customers for your business. And they're a big part of the funnel, because the funnel is not just the funnel is not just, okay, everything that you build out. It's also the people working that funnel as well to make it convert, right? And this is why it's super, super important, because having that right team in there allows you to do less work but earn more money and put your time and attention into more revenue-driven activities like making content, okay? Then the next thing we have here is AI Leverage Creator. Now, once you've got the first two set up, we create your conversion assets, right? So we create evergreen trust and sales assets. It's like your founder story, your belief shifting videos, your VSLs, long form and short form, because these are these are assets that turn attention into money. They turn attention into action of book calls, purchases, sales, right? This is what we use to convert attention, because once you've got traffic, then the next stage is actually turning that traffic and converting them into an action and into money, right? Okay. And how do we do that? Well, we have content that shifts beliefs and increase the desire and increase the conviction within people. So one of the few examples of this is founder stories. So founder stories, if you have a story that relates to why you started the business in the first place, tell your story, because it relates to a lot of you're selling to the target audience that you were in, like you're selling to yourself a version of yourself that was dealing with the same problems back then. So this is an example. When I was in when I was in e-com, we had this client over here. We had a founder story. We even made an ad with this founder story, and guess what? This ad was responsible for $400,000 in sales. So we made a long form version as well, right? It does amazing wonders, because what it does is it collapses someone, because when you're advertising to a stranger, right? How do you become a stranger? Take a stranger to paying us $5,000 in a matter of under 72 hours, right? Well, I don't know the last time you gave money to a stranger. because it doesn't happen, right? So what we're trying to do with this content is collapse the time that it takes on someone to be someone who doesn't know you to someone who knows, likes, and trusts you in the shortest amount of time possible. So this is one of a skincare client. This is another one of my clients. So Start Business Academy. He's an investing coach. You can see he was on a podcast talking about his story in detail. All right, and this is content that you start to use inside of your actual funnel, right? This is what you send to leads after they book in a call or they become a lead, right? You send this content over to them because you know what is it going to do is going to drive an action.
And I went to secondary school. At the age of 10.
I get all my clients to make these kinds of videos because they are so incredibly effective, and it's different formats you can make it in as well, right? It can be a presentation, you can be on a podcast like some of our clients over here, right? And or you can just be, someone just interviewing you directly, making this from your home, right? Like there's this client over here, literally we went from zero, they were unknown brand, they didn't have any social presence. Once we created the trust and sales assets, we went from 1 month to over £20,000 in the following month, like 0 to 20K. And the main thing that we did was just these sales and trust assets. They have such a powerful effect, right? So there's founder stories, there's belief shifting videos, right? Why should people even pick you in the first place? So stuff like walking through your mechanism is a great example, right, of that. Okay, stuff that shows why your process is the best, or why the opportunity that you're selling people on is important. Okay, right? Because here you're trying to shift belief. So these are examples of trust and sales assets. There's many more examples, but these are some of the core ones that you need to actually convert the attention that you're getting, right? It works great for organic, it works great for paid as well, right? And this problem that this solves is low conversions, right? If you're just struggling with a show up rate, low booking rates from traffic, high no shows on calls, and low close rates, is because you don't have enough of these trust and sales assets. So what we do is help you build out your VSLs, your pre-framing system, so that you can actually get these assets in front of people before they even get on a call with your team, right? Okay, so there's the frameworks on how we build all of these things with the content indoctrination sequences from our confirmation page, our pre-call assets, but I'm not going to go through all of them right now. But yeah, we have all of these frameworks and processes for making these, and these are more detailed in exactly what we do and how we do it in terms of creating these assets, right? Once you've got a bucket of these assets, they're like oil to your sales process. It makes everything a lot smoother and a lot quicker to actually get the result, right? And the result from this is that you turn strangers into fans within hours, days, right? The more educated people are prior to the sales calls, the more likely they're going to show up for the call, show up for your webinars, and actually get closed. Okay. Now, step 4, right? That's your advertising. So this is where we attract the qualified leads. Now, this is what everybody focuses on, but they ignore the other steps, right? But advertising is just a means for attracting attention. It's just a means for getting attention. It does not convert people into sales by itself, right? That's why everything that we do prior, these are the foundational stuff, right? If you've already got this set up, you want to optimize this. This is foundational things that you need to make this convert and become a lot more efficient for you, so that you make more money from this, right? But yeah, advertising, when we attract qualified leads and actually get the purchases, this is how we actually acquire clients and acquire attention from the right people, right? So we use the prior research to actually craft a message that resonates with an ideal client for you, right? And you start putting money behind it to attract qualified prospects into your business who can afford your service. Now, this is the fuel that powers the engine, right? But fuel going into a faulty car, it leads to problems, right? So it's the fuel that powers the engine, and it's what we produce to actually attract the right people into your process. So we have whole advertising SOPs of exactly what we do with the ads, etc., and how we actually craft and get a unique message all put into processes here. But this is just a high level breakdown, okay? Right? And the problem this solves is a low volume of qualified leads, right? So if you're struggling with a small, inconsistent lead flow, unqualified prospects, high cost for acquisition, this is literally one of the biggest problems that businesses face, dealing with people who can't afford their service, right? So we help that you craft that message that speaks to your ideal audience, and then we find the multiple angles of that and exploit it to actually start getting in front of the right people and make your ads a lot more profitable as well, right? Okay, so these are some of the results that we've actually even got from this. For one of our clients, we booked in 130 book calls, right? And look at the type of leads that we're getting. Business owners making over 15,000 a month, 6,000, 15,000 a month, right? When you have the right message that speaks to the right avatar, the right people, you can attract the kind of people that you want. Imagine getting these type of leads, only spending $76, right? Okay, I'm selling a product for five all the way to 20,000 for this offer. Okay, now you only get these kind of results when you really have a message that speaks ideally to the person that you want to attract. Okay, so step 5 is analysis. This is the one that people ignore the most, but this is what we do to actually scale. Okay, so we let AI show us. We go through it ourselves, but we also use AI to show us what's working and what isn't. Right? We track, measure, and refine. There is no failure in marketing. There's only feedback. Right? So from your ads, your website, landing pages, email, text. Right? We use AI and our team to break down exactly what's working and what's not, so you can double down on the winners and cut the losers fast, right? When you really understand the story behind the numbers, that's what allows you to make intelligent decisions, right? Okay. And when you're allowed to make, when you can make intelligent decisions that have a higher probability of it actually leading to more revenue, you can scale a lot faster, right? You can scale incredibly fast because you're putting money only into the thing that's generating you a lot more back, right? If you can put $1 into, and for every $1 you're getting $4 back, how many times would you put in $1, right? You continue to do that, right? You know, how effective, how quicker, and how much more effective will you be when you actually know what's working and you're honing down and repeating successful actions over and over and over again, instead of testing things and shooting in the dark and some things are working and some things are not, right? This is what allows you to have certainty in your process. Allows you to have certainty, and when we're going to risk 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 in a month in your ads, you know, you better be confident if you're going to be spending that kind of money, and that's what analysis allows us to do. So yeah, the problem solved is that there's no measurement or tracking systems, right? If you don't know your numbers, right, and you lack clarity and you're unsure what bottlenecks to fix, all of that leads to misguided actions that can actually, you know, go the opposite direction of making you lose money, right? So we have reporting systems from our advertising, our appointment setting systems, sales systems, right? Finance tracking system, your monthly profit and loss, right? And then, yeah, we have a system integrator that syncs all of this up, right? So when you know all your numbers, your customer acquisition, etc., you can do a financial model and actually be able to predict with accuracy what your results would be, depending on what things that you could fix and how much money you're going to be spending, right? And that's what enables you to have confidence in your process, right? So for example, we actually build dashboards like this for our clients, right, where you can see all of your numbers all at one time, from your revenue, your ROAS, your cost per lead, right, how many new leads are coming in, right, okay, your KPIs and benchmarks. You can see the application rate is below target over here. Okay, maybe that's a bottleneck that we need to fix. Like, how do we fix that, right? And we focus on actually fixing the problems with speed, and this is what allows you to do. So you can do this on your ad metrics. You have the daily log of what's going on, you know, how your VSLs are performing and everything. And then we have, you know, a database, a business database where you can track your sales and your sales calls, right? So for example, you have a sales CRM over here, right, where we'll be logging down all the notes from the calls, etc. And we have AI attached to all of these things, because then AI can pull information directly from your sales calls, and that can lead to you, giving us information about what sales assets that you need to make, what trust assets do you need to make, or what type of ad is working well, and what type of people should we, or what type of ad isn't working that's giving us the worst low quality leads, right? You can track your revenue, payment plans, and expenses all in one place, having your leads all in one place in one central database, and that allows you to be confident and get more insights from as you go along, right? Things should get better as you're spending more money, as you're growing, because you're acquiring more data, and with more data and more information, you can make more intelligent decisions, right? Great. So this is the difference between the top 1% business and the other 99%. A lot of people don't have, you know, acquisition systems. Maybe they're DMing strangers, asking for referrals. It's the founder taking every call, right? They're not actually tracking their data properly to actually know what's working and what isn't, and they have a constraint in their fulfillment that stops them from actually getting more clients. And that can be something from switching from one-to-one to group coaching. The top 1%, they have everything that I've just showed you. They have paid ads, evergreen content, conversion, sales assets to convert people, right? They have a team that's actually working these leads on a consistent basis, right? And they have measurement systems, so they actually all the decisions are actually made and backed by data, and they have a smooth process for fulfillment, leverage process for fulfillment, so that the more people that they take on doesn't necessarily need to equate to having a lot more work on their plate, right? This is stuff like implementing group coaching, for example, right? Okay, and this is what's happening with businesses. This is the businesses that are doing over $1 million a year or $1 million a month. These are the type of infrastructures that they actually have into their business, and this is exactly what we can build for you and optimize and improve for you. If we choose to work together. So. Right. So just for a quick recap, we went over to, you know, your attention and acquisition systems to actually get high quality leads, how to have high close rates and cash collected on your calls, right? How to actually nurture leads and indoctrinate them for your sales and conversion assets. Having your appointment settings can be used to actually sell your programs. We've gone over conversion systems to turn leads into sales, and actually how to measure everything in your business, right? So like, we're so confident that this will work for you, right? That we even bet our money on it, right? So if we don't actually get you conversions and actually make your money back within the first 60 days, we refund you in full. Now, if you want to add an extra 100,000 to 200,000 in your business, an additional 100,000 to 200,000 in your business within about the next 12 weeks, right? And you want a system like this actually set up into your business, then So if you're interested in having something like this set up for your business, right, then I invite you to book a call under this video. Book a call, a consultation with me where we can go a lot more in depth. On that free consultation, I'm going to analyze all your sales processes, all your marketing processes and your fulfillment processes, and actually give you information contextual to your situation of how you can fix that. So it's a free consultation. Like, it's not some hidden sales calls. My strategy to be transparent is to give you so much information, actionable information that you can implement, that, you know, that is actually so much, and you're so busy that you actually just pay us for doing it. But if you feel confident and proficient that you can take all that information, apply it yourself without any additional help confidently, then you're more than welcome to do that as well. But either way, the call is going to be extremely valuable for you. So click the link below, book in a call with me. Let's have that free consultation and help your business scale.